Have you ever written a bio? A bio is usually found on a person's social media profile or on a dating app. According to AI, a bio in online dating is a brief introductory text on a user's profile that showcases your personality, interests, and what you're looking for in a partner. Truth be told, writing a good bio can be a struggle. It's important that you remember this. Your bio is the first impression you put out to potential dates. It can make all the difference in attracting the right match.
In this video, we will show you how we wrote our bios. But just a disclaimer, we are not experts at this. Hindi ko sinasabi the best yung ginawa namin. We, however, think it is helpful to dissect our bios to find some pearls that may be of help to you if you're just starting out, and especially if you have had no prior experience like me. I only stayed in a dating app for about 2 months, but I remember getting positive feedback from people saying that it looks like I'm a sincere person, and then they say it's hard to get honest people these days, and other sorts of good comments just by them reading my bio. Maybe it helped that I had journalism as an elective in high school. There, we were instructed on how to write good English, put in the right punctuations, and also make the written word really flow. However, these are not what make great bios. Of course, it adds to the overall first impression, as typos and errors can be a turnoff and may suggest a lack of effort.
But the number one ingredient in a great bio is something called honesty. You may also call it authenticity. If you write authentic bios, you will most likely attract serious people. But if you write flirty bios, you will most likely inadvertently draw in people looking for something casual. Generally, you attract the energy you put out.
Yeah, I used to think that online dating is a sham. There's a stigma in online dating. Let me explain what I mean with an example. My Japanese female boss, during one of her visits to the Philippines, we talked about random stuff and about future plans. She asked, "Oh, where did you meet him?" I said, "I met him on a dating app." She said, "Oh, no, 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 no." She continued, "Did you know that I have a friend who met someone online and she got scammed? It's a dangerous place, a lot of dishonest people." And yep, it's true, she has a point.
Yes, honey, there's a lot of stories about people getting scammed, being love bombed, being exploited, or used for sexual pursuits. This is why you have to be careful and smart about choosing a dating site, and then also in catching the red flags. Nobody's perfect, but if there's multiple red flags, you might be smart to look for an exit strategy.
A few examples are: 1. Something's too good to be true; 2. He or she is moving too fast; and 3. Anything involving money.
Meanwhile, let's get back to something you control: writing your bio. Let's take a look at a snapshot of Irene's bio, and then we'll take a look at mine.
Let's see. I was upfront early, saying that it's my first time on dating sites. Although that made me more vulnerable to predators, pwede nila isipin easy target ka. However, it was honest, and it gave me room for people to cut me some slack if and when I commit blunders or mistakes. I then proceeded with a little bit of history, my previous relationship, and then what's my current status. It's good to put in a bit of a background about who you are, describing yourself, how you came to the dating app, and what you are looking for. These things show that you are a real person and you are sincere. I said I wanted to move on. I'm looking for a faithful partner who's eventually going to commit to a serious relationship.
As for me, it was simple. I was looking for my best friend and future wife. Irene and I might have used different words, but it all pointed out that we were not looking for something casual or shallow.
Gusto kasi namin yung may patunguhan eventually. We wanted something that will eventually get to the goal of commitment. Dapat talaga malinaw na sabihin mo yan. You should clearly state that out.
Another thing that's best to include in your bio is to describe the traits you want in your future partner. Like, for example, I said, I'm looking for a responsible guy, easy to talk to, decent, and respectful. Then I also said I preferred a specific age range and of the same faith as me. I always read bios before I engage in a conversation. If the details don't match my preferences, I don't even start. Say, for example, it says the other person is an atheist or an agnostic. It's a definite red flag for me. So I stop there.
Meanwhile, in my bio, I wrote, I was looking for a good, godly woman.
That detail of his made me more closer to the conclusion that he may be God's answer to my prayers. Yes, we both believe it is best to pray for these things. Our God is a caring, personal God, and He must be involved in our love stories. As we got to know more of each other, I learned that it wasn't just me praying. Troy had also been praying, and he had surrendered the matchmaking to God. So both of us were praying for good partners. It is also good to share real details about yourself, your career, family commitments, etc. So in my bio, I said I'm a medical doctor, that I support myself and my family, and was not dating for the purpose of seeking after someone's money.
I was with the U.S. Air Force and had gotten my life together after a messy divorce, and now knew what I'm looking for. We both had established that we have our own careers and are stable financially.
So this gives the message that we are not out to scam anyone and we are sincere. But then you might ask, paano kung wala akong trabaho? What if I don't have a job?
Then write about what you're busy with currently and describe what a typical day looks like for you. Let the person on the other end decide whether he wants to engage with you, get to know you, and support you eventually. Who knows?
However, more than just a physical, one becomes more attractive by the inner character that you possess. So highlight your passions and hobbies, but instead of generic list, share a story specific that gives insight into who you are. In his bio, Troy said he's a hopeless romantic, has a good sense of humor, and loves the outdoors, which are traits that attracted me to consider him.
Meanwhile, Irene's bio said she was down to earth, not hard to please, and loyal. She also loves to travel and loves nature, which made it easier for me to consider her as a potential partner.
But of course, these are not random nice words. These are laden with honesty. Telling the truth too late in the game is also akin to dishonesty.
If you are divorced with kids, like me, include it. I know of someone who broke up with a Filipina he was talking to because of dishonesty. Her bio read she was single when in fact she was separated but not yet annulled. That would definitely get in the way as you move towards marriage.
Another good tip is to skip the cliches like looking for my partner in crime. Think about what you have to offer in a relationship. When you are self aware about your role in a relationship, you'll be able to pinpoint specific traits to mention in your bio. In my bio, I said, I will cook for my man, I will be caring, and will be a submissive wife. On the flip side, it will also be helpful to tell people what you are not looking for. For example, I specifically stated that I was not a player, that I was not looking for play. I also had age restrictions and that they couldn't be older than my dad. Of course, I specified the age ceiling. And I also informed my readers that I shy away from faceless profiles.
Meanwhile, I said I would avoid women who were looking for sugar daddies, or those who've been talking to multiple guys and can't seem to settle on one. I also said that I didn't want someone who isn't in the same head, heart, and emotional space. These were ways of us being upfront about our negatives, but overall our bio tone was positive, just like yours should be.
I know I said online dating was a sham, but I still put in the effort. After 2 months of talking to prospects and getting burned, I was ready to call it quits. Oh, but on that fateful day, Troy came along and the rest was history. Lessons learned: be honest, keep your standards and don't lower them just to connect with someone cute. Pray about your potential mate and believe God is someone amazing that you will receive in His time. Until then, don't quit, keep the faith, and keep praying. As a last tip, proofread your bio carefully. Remember, your profile is your first impression. Make it memorable, inviting, and true to your character.
These will all increase your chances of making a meaningful connection. I hope this helped. Drop us a comment for any questions or feedback. And good luck with finding your better half. See you then!